Ooh, that music sounds a little weird. Hello! How are you doing Friday night? Friday night, Frankie. I don't know if I should call you Friday or Frankie for short. Or just Friday night. Or F and F. F and F. Okay. Oh, you know, I did not. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. We're all good. I'm just gonna save the snake for last because it's a lot of things to shade. Although the frosting, I keep calling it frosting instead of what it's actually called, which is whipped cream. Because there is a difference. And I know people would be like, no, why'd you call it frosting? So, I will call it what it's supposed to be called. And that is whipped cream. Anyway. Enough with the random ramblings. Oh, thank you for the likes. Zuri. Zuri. I don't know if I said that name right. I apologize if I did not. Oh, thank you for all the likes. Wow. A whole bunch of likes. That was very sudden. Very sudden join in the stream. Just trying to get all these highlights right. I don't understand how you do digital art. I've tried so hard, and it's so hard. Believe me, I didn't post everything that I drew in the beginning. In fact, I didn't post anything at all when I first got my tablet. And keep in mind, it's not the tablet that you see on screen right now. Like, I didn't have this fancy nice one where I can like actually write on the screen. I had the black one that was, you wrote on here and it popped up on the screen. That was my first one. It took so long to figure it out. It also took a really long time to figure out color theory and all that kind of stuff. But my best advice is, if you have a hard time, like before we get to color and stuff, if you have a hard time with like sketching on like digital, sketch on paper. Take a picture of it or scan it if you have a scanner. That's awesome if you do. If you don't, take a picture of it, put it onto your computer, and then you can use that image as your like sketch for your line art and stuff. As for color theory and shadows and all that kind of stuff, honestly, it's like it's something kind of just you gotta figure out. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain how to do like color theory and all that kind of stuff, because it is. Oh, I did that on the wrong layer. Oh well, I can just move it over. No wonder it wasn't going over where I wanted it to be. Anyway. But ugh, that snake is so cute. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to get this whipped cream right, because the last whipped cream one I did was like more like a smooth whipped cream, but I wanted to do like the messy kind of like airy whipped cream, and this is really difficult to do, but I'm trying. That's what's important. How did you find going from a screenless tablet to one with the screen? Was it a huge inconvenience? It did take a while to adjust to that too. Not as long as the one going from paper to it didn't take as long as it took me for going from paper to digital as it took for me going from the regular tablet to a screen tablet. It did take a little adjusting because it's not the same as drawing on paper, because there is that little bit of window between you. Even though you're on the screen, it's still like a little bit off from like drawing on paper. So it's still a little bit different. But it didn't take too long. It wasn't that much of an adjustment compared to the other one. So. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great day too. It's Friday night, Frankie. Your webcam is out on TikTok. Huh? Oh! Oh, you moved from TikTok, or you moved from Twitch to TikTok. I see. I got you. Yeah, I'm streaming on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch at the same time. It's very interesting because now I have like multiple chats going, although there's nothing on YouTube because YouTube's kind of like, it's like a fun thing to just keep my videos up there and everything. So, but yeah. Yeah, just letting you know the webcam isn't displaying here. Oh no, I forgot to turn on that thing. Oh, I apologize to the Twitch viewers. I forgot to turn that on. There you go. You should be able to see me now. Okay. Thank you for telling me that. I did not realize that at all. Fixed it. Yes, you did fix it. You did. I know yesterday when I was streaming, my phone actually died because I didn't think about plugging it in yesterday for some reason. It died right at the end of the stream. It was like the last 2 minutes it died right before I ended the stream. So, thankfully it wasn't like in the middle of it, but yeah, because my phone is actually my camera because I don't have a camera and that's what I got. So that's my way of doing it. How's that looking? Is that looking like whipped cream? I think it is. Like, if you zoom out, I think it looks better zoomed out than zoomed in. Because in zoomed in, I'm like, man, this is looking like a bunch of squiggly lines. But when I zoom out, I'm like, oh, it looks actually pretty decent. So, I do think this is too dark, though. So, I'm gonna lighten that a bit. I don't know why I went down. It's crazy how you like zoomed in and you're like, this looks like a bunch of squiggly lines, and then you zoom out and you're like, oh, that actually works, never mind. Merge all the layers? Oh man, I could actually do that. It'd just be a little more difficult doing the... So what I like to do is I like to make a rough sketch, and then I do my quote line art, and then my line art becomes like where where everything should end, even though my line art doesn't show up at the end and I kind of just draw over it. I still like to use that as a base to tell me where things go. So I do like to have separate layers, even for my line art. Like I have separate layers for each color line art and stuff. So I do have there is a reason. There is a method to this madness, I promise. Although it is probably possible for me to do this on one layer, I would rather not. It would be a lot to do it on one layer. Strawberry. Yep, mini strawberries. And hello, thank you for joining. Wouldn't a strawberry sink into the whipped cream? There's no logic in this drawing. I mean, I literally have a corn snake next to a glass as if it's the same size. So, I'm pretty sure a corn snake is a little bit bigger than that, so there's no logic to this. I don't do this for the logic. I do it for the fun. That's what I do it for. Anyway, I could do like a cut in half strawberry, but I'd rather just do a whole strawberry. I'm not gonna lie. And I think it's kind of cuter this way. Although I could skip the leaves if I did a half cut strawberry. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep it the whole strawberry. I had to decide. I took a second. I was like, maybe I could do that. But no. I think I might shrink the strawberry. It depends on what I decide to do, but yeah. And snake. Yes. Lots of little snake. Little snakes sitting on the bottom. I think that's why I thought it was ice cream. I don't blame you. I could see how you could think it was ice cream. I could see it. I could see it. I mean, when it's close up, you're just like, you see one section of the drawing instead of the entire thing, which is a lot different than the one section. Speaking of which, I think I'll do the strawberry next. I'm pretty content with that. I might merge these two layers. Okay. I don't know why, but I always still want the line art there. How are you? I'm good. I'm dandy. I'm a lot better than I was yesterday. I was really tired yesterday, so I wasn't able to finish this on stream. So, yeah. I will probably finish this one and then work on the next one, actually. But yeah, I'm good. I'm doing good. Let me change my reference image to a reference of a strawberry real quick. There we go. Yeah. No? I feel like there's probably a better image. Perfect. Okay. Well. When you look up strawberry, there's a lot of jam stuff. So I have to decide which image is the best one to go off of. I think that one's the best one I'm going to come by, so I'm going to stick with that one. Okay. Sorry. Still coughing. Annoyingly, but still coughing. Okay. I'm going to figure out how I want to go about the little dimples. You know what? Let me worry about the base shadow first. Now I gotta add those little dimples, which is going to be very interesting. But I'm going to do my best. They're kind of random, but there's kind of a pattern to it, and that's the weird part, honestly. how much would this art be worth? Okay, well, considering how long this one takes, probably like, this one would take me, because yesterday I worked on it from like 8-ish. It was near 8. It was like 7:45 or something. And then I stopped at like 10:30. So it was probably like 2.5 hours-ish. And then the rest of this will probably take me another maybe 2 hours. So maybe like 4. Yeah, it could take me an hour and a half. I don't know. We'll say like 3 or 4 hours. And I want to charge my worth. So, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, $30. Like if it was just like an original piece that I'd made for someone, like a commission or something, it would probably be, I have to do the math in my head. 3-4 hours. Ugh, how do you do this math in my head? It would be about $90 to $120. So it's like $30 an hour for me, because of where I'm at in my art right now. So, yeah, somewhere around there. I don't really know. But yeah, that's how it would be worth if it was like a commission. I do plan on making these into like keychains and stuff, and that's like completely different, obviously. My keychains, I make them for $10, and then I have stickers as well, which are not on my shop, but I should add them to my shop. But I sell them at the conventions, and those are like $5. So, yeah, it depends. It depends on what I'm doing. If it's a commission, it's a lot more because it's like a personal piece and it's just for you. If it's something like this, it's a little bit different. So. In the past, I probably would have said a completely different number. But in the past, I wasn't, like, my art wasn't at this point, and also I wasn't as self-confident as I am now. So, it always depends on your self-confidence. Like, everybody talks about art prices and changes and all that kind of stuff, and honestly, it just depends on what you think you're worth. Like, my stuffed animals have, because I make stuffed animals as well, I charge quite a bit for those, mostly because of how much time they take me, and because of the skill level that I'm at now versus what I was at when I first started making stuffed animals. So it just depends on where you're at, how confident you are in your skills, and where you want to take it, honestly. So if you don't know how much to charge your art for, it really just depends on you. Everybody says don't undercharge yourself, but sometimes you just don't know what undercharging is for yourself. So for the longest time, I definitely undercharged on the stuffed animals I made, not just because of the skill level I was at, but also mainly because of the time it took me. So if something takes you a really long time, make sure you're charging it it like it's worth your time. Like, my stuffed animals were stupidly low in price when I first started selling them, which is fine because I was still pretty new at it. But if I was still charging that amount for them, I would be making no money. So it really just depends on where you're at in your journey, and like the amount of money you want to make, and if you want this to be like a full-time thing or not. If it's just like a part-time thing, just make sure you're not losing money and you should be fine. If it's like a hobby, again, just make sure you're not losing money and you'll be fine. Unless it's some sort of like charity thing, then that's completely different. But it really just depends on what you want to do with all that. I will say I'm as confident as I am in my stuffed animal prices. Sometimes I question my own like cost on my drawings and stuff, but I mean, these take me hours to make, so maybe someday I can ask for your commission on Instagram and style. The style highlighting objects is quite unique to see. Yeah, I have definitely honestly, I don't know how to explain this, because literally okay. I started doing it this way like literally last week, because for a while I wasn't streaming because of life and stuff. But then recently I started streaming again, and I decided I'd stream every day, and so that made me draw every day. Or sew. It depends on what I decide to do. If I decide to sew, I'll be sewing on stream. If I decide to draw, I'll be drawing on stream. But basically, I decided I'd be drawing on stream every weekday, and I'd do a sewing stream every weekend, because sewing takes a lot more effort, and I'd rather do that by myself. But I do sewing streams every once in a while. But anyway, so I started streaming, and I started doing this, and I was drawing with line art for the longest time, and you can look back on like my old videos and stuff on TikTok or YouTube, and you'll see that they aren't all like this because I don't know how I got here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little surprised by myself. They all have line art, and the shading is fine, but I don't know why. It's just like my art has jumped, and it's at that point in my art creating thing, and I guess it's because I've been drawing every day that I just got a little bit better at this. So I don't know. I'm very happy with where I am now. So yeah. But thank you. Also, thank you. I will say that as well. I don't like literally here. Okay, so you see this drawing is where I'm at now. Let me open some of my old ones. They're in my own cloud, so let me just go over here. So we're gonna open the one that I started streaming at, and that one's the Fruit Jaws one, which is not as good as everything else. It's okay. As you can see, there is line art. It's just some okay shading, and that's what I made like 2 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago, because I got sick last week and I wasn't able to stream at all. So 3 weeks ago, I should say. That's what I did 3 weeks ago, and then this is probably the middle of the drawing every day thing before last week when I got sick, because I got sick, I couldn't draw anything. This thing, and then my most recent one, which is the MilkSnake. That one's the most recent one. So I don't know how I got here, but somehow I did it. Yeah, I don't know. Art journey is weird because you could start with this and end with this, and you're just like, how did I get here in that much time? I don't know. I don't know. I guess I learned how to shade along the way because I started doing it every day. I don't know. I never really thought I'd be able to draw without line art, but here I am. I don't know how I did it, but we're just gonna be happy about it and move on. I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna accept the circumstance of where I am now. That's the funny thing about art is you can be like, I'm doing okay in art, and then suddenly you're like, how did I get here? But you just accept it. Don't know how I got from here to here, but here we are. It's like looking back in your old art stuff and you're like, man, I thought this was so good. And then you look back on it and it's just not as good as you remember. Sometimes that's like the most like rewarding thing, and other times it's like, man, that's kind of disappointing that that's not as good as I remember. It's like sometimes you just want to look back on your art and enjoy it, not think about, man, that's not as good as I thought it was. Although there is still some art that I look like from when I was 16 that I genuinely enjoy. Is beautiful. Thank you. Cause like there's some pieces that I'm like, oh, that's actually really good, and I'm like, oh, that I like those character designs, and all that kind of stuff. So, like I have like these college portfolios stuff, which is filled with like character design stuff because I was in animation school, so I had a character design class. And I look back at the character design stuff and I'm like, I still like these. I still love these character designs. And then I look back at other character designs and I'm like, these are ugly. And I hate them. So it really depends, honestly. But I like looking back and seeing what things I changed in my art style and what things stayed the same. Because it's fun to see that. strawberry. Nearly complete. That's one perfect looking strawberry. I kind of want to make it imperfect. I also feel like it's a little too jagged. Whoops, what did I do? Okay, I went to the navigator. I'm a little scared to do the leaves, I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared to do the snake, but I'm also kind of scared to do the leaves. I always like get scared to render something and then I render it and it's fine. I don't know why. That's just how I am. Like I can be like, oh, everything looks great, and I get to the leaves, I'm like, I'm scared to do these, and then they turn out completely fine. I don't know why. I am just the way I am, I suppose. I don't really know what this... Leaves are interesting because I can try to make them look as realistic as possible, but there's just so many factors to them that it's practically impossible. Of course, it doesn't need to look realistic, it just needs to look like it fits in with the rest of the image. Which the image doesn't really look realistic, I'll say. It's not realistic, it's just... It's like a stylized realism. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain my style. I just do it. I don't know. I'm just like, this works. This looks good. Oh yeah, that works. That looks good. That looks bad. Let's change that. That's pretty much how my mind goes through the phases of me drawing these things. There is no consistency. That's why when you look at my art, it changes every so often, because my style just changes. You know, and I don't really remember being worried about looking for an art style as a kid. Like, I remember watching videos on how people would be like, don't look for your art style. You don't have to look for your art style. And I was thinking to myself, art style? I never even really thought about that. Like, I knew I liked the way some people drew, and all that kind of stuff, but I never really tried that hard to copy their style or anything like that. Like, there were like creators where I was like, oh, I like that, and I kind of like just brought it into my own art style, or I took like bits and pieces that I liked, because I knew I could never really copy what they had. Not completely, because honestly it's impossible to it's not impossible. I won't say it's impossible, because there's such thing as realism art, and that's basically literally taking everything from life and creating something exactly like that. So you can possibly copy an art style or whatever, but it's not really copying, because it really is just an art style. There's no such thing as copying an art style. I should say that, because there's some people that think there is. There's no such thing. You can use multiple art styles and it be your own art. It's okay. You can do that. It's fine. I promise you. Anyway. But I never really had anything like that, because I just experimented so much, because all I ever did was experiment. So there was never really a need to find the quote right art style or my art style or whatever it was, even though I heard so many times, don't look for your art style and blah 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 blah, which really confused me, because I was like, what are you talking about? I just draw my own thing. Like, fine. What do you mean don't look for your own art style? You have that already, don't you? So yeah, that was kind of a funny thing that I noticed in the past, is how many times I heard that and how little I cared. I won't say I didn't have like people I looked up to, because there were definitely people I looked up to. Like, I watched a ton of how to draw videos when I first started drawing, and those were basically all I ever drew, from a specific like how to draw video people. I don't really know the name off the top of my head, and I drew all of their stuff for like the longest time before I started drawing my own stuff, because I was still learning. And that's pretty much it on that end. But otherwise, other than that, like when I started doing my own thing, it really was just all just me either looking at someone's art and taking bits and pieces that I liked, or just doing what felt right. Because honestly, what felt right was usually the best direction for me. And I say usually because there was a point in my art art journey, maybe that's the better word. Oh, I came back, went out for dinner. What did I miss? I've just been rambling. You have not missed a single thing, don't worry. But there was a point in my art journey where I made some ugly art. Like, I look back at my art that I made when I was like 17, 18, and it looks great. And then I look at some art that I made when I was in like my 20s-ish. Well, I still am in my 20s. My early 20s. I'm still in my early 20s. Like 20, 21, I don't know. It was something like that. And I look back at it and it is so bad. It is so bad. It's like I lost all of what I learned in those moments. But you know what? It's like it was genuinely a learning experience. I hate that art with a burning passion. I wish I could bury it. But it's there, so I can't ignore it. As much as I like some of my old art, that is probably the point in my life. Like, I can look back at my art from when I was like 12 and be like, okay, that's what a 12-year-old would draw. I look back at that art and I'm like, why did I draw that way? Why did I decide that was the way I wanted to draw everything? It was so bad. Anyway, that's probably the one thing that's like I just dislike with the burning passion is that point in my drawing process. I did not like it. I tried to do Okay, how do I explain this art style? I tried to like, oh gosh, so I basically saw some art on somewhere, probably Instagram or DeviantArt or something, and it was this kind of style where it was very simplified, and there was no gradients with the shadow. There were very harsh shadows, maybe a little bit of gradient, but there was very harsh shadows and very simplified, very taken back simplified, and they were really good, don't get me wrong. The art that I saw was beautiful, and I basically was like, I want to try to do that. I tried to do it, but I did it wrong. And it looks bad. It looks so bad. So that was my, I don't know why I thought it looked good at the time, but for some reason I thought it looked good. So, but it did not. It did not look good. But you know what? We all go through our phases. It's fine. Sometimes we have to go through an ugly art phase when you think you're supposed to go through a good art phase. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. Sometimes you'll look back at old art and like some of your older stuff than some of your newer stuff. That's fine. That's kind of how I felt at the end of that cycle, where I looked back at my old art and was like, where did I go wrong? And then I immediately like switched, like took a few steps back and started doing the line art again and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm here, which is again a very different style than I've been doing, but I'm happy with it. And it came out of, rather than being like I want to draw like that, it came out of I'm just gonna draw and see what comes from it. And that's basically how I got here, which is fine to be like I want to draw like that and try to mimic an art style or something. And it's great to do that because it definitely taught me a lot of things. I will say I learned a lot from that phase in my art journey, and as much as I disliked the art from back then, I learned a lot. So it's like a love-hate relationship right there with old art. So it's like I don't like it. I wish it didn't exist. However, it does, and it made me get to the point where I am now, so I can't completely hate it as much as I want to. If I could make it disappear, I probably would, but I won't, because it should be known that I didn't start here at all. So if I didn't feel the need to show where I started, I would probably have deleted all of that art by now. And if I didn't like to look back at my old art to see where I came from and where I'm going, I also probably, again, would have deleted that art a very, very long time ago. But you know, that's just how it is. There's just something off about the strawberry compared to the whipped cream. It's almost like it's too... Maybe it's just not in the whipped cream enough. Maybe I need to add more whipped cream. A little more bumps and ridges in there. Can you draw me? If you want to. I don't care. I mean, I'm on camera, so... I mean... I don't really have much control over your hands. But yes, you can draw me. I don't mind. Hopefully that's the end of that. Okay, we're going to the scary part, the snake. That's always the scariest part. It's the scales. All the scales! It's okay, I can do it. Oh wait, I forgot the whipped cream on top of his head. Hold on. I must do this first, really quickly. I decided against the leaves. Alright, enough avoiding the snake. I shall draw the snake now. I say as I continue to avoid the snake. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do the snake. It's fine. Alright. Where am I gonna start? Well, first I gotta pull up my reference. Always look at reference. Yes. We got a beautiful reference. If you want to see my reference, here is my beautiful reference. Isn't that such a pretty snake? I love it. I would never own one because I'm scared of them. But it's a pretty snake. It's a very pretty snake. Anyway, moving on. Okay. gonna get all of the same color first. I'm gonna airbrush my darker spots, shadows. Who says you can't use an airbrush? I use an airbrush all the time. I just use it for big bulk areas that I want to be gradient darker, a little, how do you say that? A gradient darker. Then, and I can use it more in the back area. I don't know how to explain that. I explain by showing, that's how I explain. Now I can get to the more detailed works of art. Anyway. Oh. So let's take a look at the sketch real quick before I finish this off. So here's the sketch. We'll just take that away. Beautiful little tiny sketch. And now we're here. Ah, sketch here. It is crazy how far along things change. Anyway, to the snake shadows and such. Because I'm avoiding them. I will admit I'm avoiding them a little bit. Alright, where is the snake? There it is. I'll get those little highlights in there. Alright, I am going to ramble about a show. Oh, hold on. Can you draw how's Halloween going? How's Halloween going? I don't know. I made some jack-o'-lanterns. I made little mini jack-o'-lanterns. And that's pretty much it. Like, I haven't been doing much for Halloween, I'm not gonna lie. I've been making a bunch of jack-o'-lantern plushies for people who buy them for Halloween, but that's pretty much it. That's just like a I'm not as into Halloween as some people are. Like, I do like it. Like, there are fun things about it, like jack-o'-lanterns, and I like giving out candy to the trick-or-treaters and stuff. But honestly, it's not like a huge thing for me. I'd say the bigger holiday for me is probably Christmas. And the only reason for that is because I get to make presents for my family, because I really like making presents for them every year. So, yeah. Even though it takes all of my time and energy to do so, I really love doing that. So, I don't know. It just depends, honestly. But I'm gonna trust the process. But yeah, I mean, like, Halloween has never really been a big thing in my family. We did do, my older siblings did trick-or-treating. Me and my little brother didn't. And the only reason for that is because we went to our church for our fall fair, because they have a fall fair like a couple days before Halloween at the church that I go to. And every year they give us a giant bag of candy. So there was like no reason for me and my brother to go trick-or-treating, because we got to dress up and go to the fair and get a giant bag of candy, versus, you know, going around to house and getting a giant bag of candy. So our parents were like, they already have a giant bag of candy, we don't want them to have more candy, so we only really ever did the fair. My older siblings, like I said, they went trick-or-treating before we moved here and before I was born. But when we started doing that, it was more like, we don't need more candy in the house, like, not with all these kids. So I completely understand why they did that, honestly. But yeah, so I don't know, like, Halloween's never been a huge thing for me, probably because of that. So and like I said, there's things I enjoy, but I don't really like scary movies that much. It's not like I hate watching them or something. Like, if you sat me down and you wanted to watch a scary movie with me, I'd sit down and watch the scary movie. Would I enjoy it? I don't know. Maybe, but it really just depends. So, but yeah. Sometimes I'm really like excited about Halloween, and I get excited and I pull out pumpkins and start doing like the jack-o'-lanterns and stuff. That's really the only part of Halloween I really enjoy, is probably making jack-o'-lanterns and like Halloween plushies, and that's pretty much it. Everything else I'm like, eh. You give me plushies and jack-o'-lanterns and I am a happy soul. But moving on, I'm going to ramble about a TV show that I just decided I want to start watching again from my childhood. So if you don't want to listen to that, I completely understand. However, I'm gonna ramble about Detective Conan because I loved that show in like middle school, and recently I don't know what made me think about it. I think I might have just watched, like, been scrolling through and found like a short on it or something, and now I'm just like, I've watched some videos updating me on where they're at in the volume and all that kind of, or in the manga and all that kind of stuff. And now I just want to go back and rewatch the whole show, even though there's over 1,000 episodes now, and that's a lot of episodes to catch up on. I'm not really sure where I stopped watching. Like, as I loved the show, it never really did stop loving the show. I think I just stopped watching because I loved like a specific character more, and he was such a rare occurrence that I just stopped watching and would just jump in whenever he popped up again. And that's probably that would be Kaido Kid, because I loved Kaido Kid back then. And honestly, I still do. He's such a good character. He's so interesting. And he has his own manga, which has not been updated in ages, but I am like praying for the day that it gets another issue. Anyway, such a good one. I still love that character. But anyway, so I've decided I'm gonna go and try to like watch all the episodes, probably in the background while I do other stuff, because there's no way I could do it all immediately, but we're gonna try. I said I'm gonna ramble, but then I got distracted drawing again. Monsters, ghosts, and everything scary. One of my favorite dates. Second only to Christmas. Fair enough, fair enough. I think it's fun. It's never been that big of a holiday for me. I honestly prefer Thanksgiving. Why? Because of all the food. And that is that's it. I just really love all the food on Thanksgiving, which I know that's not in every country, but it's in my country, and there's so much good food. And that's it. I love getting the apple pie and the turkey and the turkey stuffing, which my family doesn't actually put the stuffing in the turkey. We just bake it and eat it normally. Like, yeah, we never actually put it in the turkey, which honestly, it's not, I wouldn't even call it stuffing at that point, but I don't really know what we would call it then. Anyway, that's what I like. This one is a very detailed drawing. I think I underestimated how long this one would take me. curious, what is the first thing you think of when you mention Brazil? Not gonna lie, I don't really know much about Brazil. I'm not much of a, like, country person. I don't know how to explain that. I don't really know. I think of their flag, I guess. Maybe soccer? Play soccer in Brazil, right? I don't really know. I guess soccer, because that's the first thing that came to my head. So, I don't really know. Did something happen down there? I'm guessing that's why you brought it up. Like, something must have happened. I don't really know. Correct. Okay, they do play soccer. Okay, yeah, I thought that's what I thought. I don't know. I never really thought about Brazil, so yeah, I guess that would be the first thing I think about when I think about Brazil is soccer. You could say that. One of my probably terrible traits is sometimes I do not save my art until the end. Not on purpose. I just don't think about it. It's like one of the things my teachers would like hammer into us is always save every hour, every time, like not every hour, like every 10 minutes or something. And I did that for ages, and now I just don't save at all until the end of the art thing. It's like a dangerous habit I have. It's like the power could go out and all I did could be gone. I will say though, the program that I'm using does have a thing where it can like create like a, if you don't save, it'll create like a backup thing or something. And I've had that happen like one time where I had to grab that, but I don't know. I don't know if it works that well, but okay, that is the red part done. Now I can do the orange and light parts. They're also pop singers like Anita, Football King. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Food and Carnival. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, all the different kinds of foods. I'm sure there's foods that I've never even heard of there that are probably tasting of amazing things. But I don't know. I've never really thought about Brazil. Do you live there? Is that why you ask? I'm assuming that because it was such a random question. I've never had anyone ask me what I thought about Brazil. One moment, a spider. Oh no! Get rid of the spider! Get rid of the spider! Oh no! A spider! You know, I mean, if you enjoy Halloween, maybe you like the spiders too. Just kidding. I can't stand a spider being like in the shower or anything like that. Like, you can be in my room or whatever because it's far away, but I hate it when they're like in the shower up in like the corner. I can't stand it, so I have to get it down. It's very interesting trying to decipher how to do the shadows on this thing. Because the red part's fine. It's just the orange and the like tan color are gonna be very interesting. She already died. She's very close to my guitar. I'll have to disinfect it later. Ah, lovely. At least it's dead. At least it's gone. Alright, let's figure out how I'm gonna go about this. Because I do have to decide how I'm going to go about this. Do you have a favorite band? Not really a band, but I do like the artist, Lindsey Sterling a lot. I feel like that's probably the only answer I'll ever have for a favorite band slash artist, because I don't know all the names of the artists I listen to. In fact, I know very few of their names off the top of my head. So, I don't really know. Because I love music. I love listening to music. I just don't know all the names of the people that I listen to. If I lost my Spotify list or any of the other list of artists and any of the other things that I have, I would just look for new music, probably. Because, honestly, I listen to the most random stuff. If we were playing music from my Spotify list or from whatever thing you use, it would be the most random things you've ever heard. It could go from Disney to, like, almost like electric music, or I don't know what genre it is, but whatever. It could go from Disney to that to like some hard rock thing that I don't know why I just like that song. It's just, the only music I don't listen to is country and rap. I can't get into those two genres. So, and maybe like some like I don't really listen to metal or anything like that, but like rock. And I do listen to a little bit of pop. In fact, most of my stuff probably is, quote, pop, but it feels like, it doesn't sound like pop to me. I don't really know. But, because I think of pop, I think of, I don't know, like, I don't know, Justin Bieber or something. So when I think of pop, I think of that, which I don't really like that stuff. So I don't really listen to that stuff either. So, I don't know. It's a very bizarre playlist. Like, my top songs on my Spotify list of the year, last year were like, I don't even know if nobody's ever heard of this music. Pixel Pig, and, I don't know, oh goodness, what was the name of this band? Nia, it starts with an N, but I don't know. But yeah, it's like a very random list, I will tell you that. It's just whatever I'm feeling at the moment, you know, like, do I feel like listening to this, or do I feel like listening to that kind of music? That's how I kind of am. I think the best way to describe it is, my brother probably described it best, is I like music that you would hear almost like in a trailer, like the upbeat kind of, like, not upbeat, like it pulls you into like a story or something. I love Pixel Pig. It's such a good song. It's such a good song. Fall Out Boys is good. That one's good. I like that one. But yeah, like, if you could imagine a story to the song, that's the kind of music I like. Whether it's slow or fast or rough, or if it has more emotion to it, or if it has like all that kind of stuff, that's the kind of music I would describe what I listen to. Like, things you can imagine a story from or something. I don't know. I'm trying my best to describe the kind of music I like, because when I listen to music, I don't just listen to music. I think of like stories and like scenarios in those stories from the music that's playing. So yeah. The music you're listening to now is just music I listen to when I draw, and it's also music that's free for me to use on stream. So yeah. If I was drawing by myself, I'd probably be listening to all of my random music on my playlist. My music genres are always varied: rock, jazz, electric, and other, but rock and electrics are my favorites. I do like a lot of electric music. I have some rock music, but not as much as I would initially think, probably. But yeah, it's very varied. It just depends on my mood or what story I want to make up in my head. Sometimes I will literally just sit there or like lay down or something and just listen to a song over and over and over again and just picture different ways that a scene could go about with the song as like the background music or something. I know that sounds so weird, but it's what I do, so don't judge me. That is just how I do it. It's just my way of listening to music. I think there are some people that probably do that, but we don't really talk about it much, so. Sorry if I'm getting hyper focused. Oh my goodness. Pepsi genres are for some. It's strange to imagine the snake looks like a salami. And I mean, I could see it. I could totally see it. A salami. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, 100%. I think I'll have a snack later. It's making you hungry now. Oh no. The milkshake or the salami snake? I guess it depends on if you want sugar or salt. Does salami have salt in it? I think it does. This is probably the most complicated thing I have drawn in a long time. If some reason you disappeared just because you fell asleep, oh, it's fine. I get really hyper focused when I'm drawing, so I probably wouldn't really notice because it takes me so long to read the chat anyway. I am terrible, I know. Sometimes I can talk like a ton during stream, and other times I'm like, silence. It just depends. It really does. On how focused I am and how tired I am. And all that kind of stuff. Oh, I am not 18. I am not 18. I am 24. Very much so older than that. But thank you. I will say, I can never guess what people are going to guess my age. Because I don't really know if I really look my age or not. Because I don't know. I like, what does a 24-year-old look like? I have no idea. So I don't think I look younger for my age or older. It's just like, I have no idea what people are gonna guess when they guess my age. Just completely clueless. So, It's kind of fun to hear. I've had some people guess older, and I've had some people guess younger. I've never had somebody guess the exact age. No, I think I actually have. But yeah, I guess it just depends on the person, honestly. I feel like I could add some brighter highlights to some certain areas, so let me do that. I could keep working on this snake all day, probably. Ah. Hmm. Okay, I should stop before I overwork this drawing. So, this took a lot longer than I thought it would. I guess I will start on the next snake tomorrow. I'll do the chocolate snake tomorrow, which will be a regular brown snake. So, yeah. Here is the strawberry milk snake. It's not an actual milk snake like the other one was, because the vanilla one is a literal milk snake. This one's just called a milk snake because of the play on the words. But this snake is a strawberry corn snake. So of course it's going to be the strawberry failure. Anyway, So, we'll be doing another snake tomorrow. And it'll be chocolate. And then there's many other snakes as well. So, yeah. Anyway, good night. I hope you like it. Oh wait. No, wait. Hold on. Actually, no. We're not stopping yet. I'm sorry. I gotta do the shadows. Oh, I almost forgot. And I need to decide, do I like that color for the background? You know what? I kind of like the purple, I'm not gonna lie. But it's... I don't want to do green. I think I might go purple. Like a dark purple. Purpley blue. It's actually blue, but it looks purple. Anyway, okay, I think we're gonna go with this color. Yeah, okay. Don't worry, the shadows won't take me long. Okay. I think I'm gonna call that good. Probably. I dropped it. Yeah. I think that's good. Okay. I wish the glass would have looked a little bit. Maybe I could add a little bit more highlights. Actually, I keep going back. I need to stop, but I can't. Okay. Anyway, let's just add a couple highlights to the cup that are a little bit brighter and a little bit. I think that's good. I keep going back. Oh no, I'm going back again. It's like one of those pieces that is never actually done. You're just like, hold on, I need to add some highlights here and there and everywhere. I will never finish this, will I? And there are things that, like, probably no one else will notice, but you will notice. I know that some people are like, what did she even do? But I'm telling you, it looks like 5 times better now. Okay. Alright, now I'm done. I think. I hope. I'm gonna put the pencil down. Okay. Now I'm done. Good night. I will stream tomorrow. And I will do another snake. And it'll be chocolate. And it'll be fun. And a good night.